Hey guys, here Weird Physics, and this is the answer to the second problem that I gave you in the distance in acceleration video. So let's start by reading the problem. A ball falls from a window and hit the ground at 19.6 meters per second. The acceleration of the ball was approximately of 9.8 meters per second squared. What was the height of the window? And we suppose it was in a vacuum, so there's no air friction or something like that. Okay, so we'll start like last time, exactly like last time. So we'll start like last time with the given variables. Sorry if there's a little bit of sound, I don't want to. So the given variables. So what do we know? We know, of course, the final velocity. The final velocity would be the velocity the ball hit the ground. So we know the final velocity. Final velocity, that's v. So the final velocity is equal to 19.6 meters per second. And then we also know the initial velocity. Because it fell from a window, the initial velocity was zero because it fell. There was no velocity before it fell. So the initial velocity is equal to 0 meters per second. And we also know the acceleration. Acceleration is equal to 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, now that we have our given variables, we are going to put what do we want to know. So what do we want to know? It's the distance, like in last answer. Distance. Uh, for this for this problem, we're going to use two formulas. So here we're going to put formulas. Here you go. So the formulas we're going to use is, first we have to know about time. So to find time, we have to use the formula of acceleration. So final velocity minus initial velocity over time. And we're going to arrange that algebraically. If you don't know that, if you don't know how to arrange, please put a comment and I will try to do a video about how to arrange. But that's more about maths and not physics. So I'll give you this arrange already. So time will equal the final velocity minus the initial velocity divided by the acceleration. And we are also going to use the formula for distance. And to do this easier, we're going to do with initial velocity multiplied by time plus 1/2 of a t squared. So because the initial velocity is 0 meters per second, when you multiply 0 by whatever, its time, it will cancel. It will be 0. So that doesn't matter for this problem. And the only thing that matters is 1/2 of at squared. So for this problem, the distance will be 1/2 of at squared. So let's try to find the time first so we can use this formula. So the time, oh, I'm going to line like this. So the time is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity. So final velocity 19.6 minus initial minus 0. So it's 19.6 divided by the acceleration. That's 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, and this we're going to put it on this formula. So then distance, we're not going to solve right now. You're going to see why, because for me it's easier to use the calculator once, but if you want to solve this, this will be 2. So 2 seconds here. But if you don't want and you want to keep it easier, so distance is equal to a half of acceleration, so a half of 9.8 meters per second square. I'm not going to put units because like we know them, we don't need them. Multiplied by the time squared, so time square is, well, I guess we can use this. 2 seconds squared, so 2 squared, so that's equal to 9.8 multiplied by, okay, this is 4, so this is a half of 9.8 multiplied by 4, and to keep it easier we're just going to multiply a half by 4 and then multiply it by this, so we have 9.8 multiplied by 2. The 2 is because 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 4 times 1 half is 2, and then multiplied by 9.8, so that would be 19.6 meters. So here you got the answer, and if you got the answer, you're really smart. Congratulations, because yeah, that was like a tricky questions. Both of them were tricky questions. If you want easier questions, just search in internet. There will be like 1,000 problems of acceleration. So these questions are really, if you can do them, then you can pass to the next unit. So thanks for watching. Thumbs up, and see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.